and welcome to Wolf Chats, a program about and produced by South Kitsap High School students.
This is our first year of the video production program here at South, and this is our very first show.
In the next half an hour, you will see video projects produced by beginning video production students. We'll take you to an unusual assembly here at South to see what can happen when you drink and drive.
We'll go backstage with the SK Jazz Band and meet the mastermind behind their success.
We'll take a look back on the school year from a senior's point of view. Those are just a few of the stories just ahead.
Whether it's South or any other high school in the country, underage drinking is a problem. Mike Gerke takes us to an unusual assembly.
It was like most every other day at South Kitsap High School, except on this day, a lesson about what can happen if you drink and drive. On the school athletic field, 4 students involved in a mock head-on collision. It represents a serious accident.
Now, law enforcement will be walking around, taking a look at the evidence, seeing what else they can do to assist, and probably start processing.
Units from all over Kitsap County respond. A hushed silence falls over the audience of 2,400 students. As rescuers remove girls from one vehicle, the driver of the other car is given a mock sobriety test. He's obviously drunk. A life flight helicopter arrives from Harborview in Seattle. One victim needs immediate airlift. One passenger is pronounced dead. The drunk driver is placed under arrest. A message is sent, loud and clear. This is what can happen when people drink and drive.
I knew a couple of people that died earlier this year, and it really upset me. And I just think it's really cool if they do things like this to try and help people learn.
Never seen it acted out like that before, so I think it had an impact on everybody.
That was an assembly students will never forget. Thanks to all the emergency crews who made it possible.
For young and old alike, jazz cuts across all age barriers. John Griswold, who plays guitar in the SK Jazz Band, gives us an insider's look on the program.
This is the South Kitsap High School Jazz Band, a group of 23 devoted musicians dedicated to the time-honored tradition of jazz music. The group is directed by longtime jazz musician and instructor Mr. Aaron Smith. This is his 5th year leading the instrumental music program at South. In the era of rap, punk, and alternative, the jazz band still seems to be popular among the students. Recently, I had the chance to ask Mr. Smith why.
Freedom. It allows the student or the player or the musician or anybody involved in it to just express what it is that they're feeling or wanting to express at any given time.
Long hours go into studying and practicing the intricacies of jazz music, but students seem to be willing to make the sacrifice.
You gotta, practice at home, but more than that, you gotta be after school every day and an extra hour every week for sectionals, and it takes a lot out of your life, but it's worth it.
Music altogether, I try to practice at least an hour a night in general. And then if we have a big gig coming up, or if I have a personal thing that I have to do, then I push it up to as much as 3 or 4.
Another motivation for these students is the preparation it gives them for a possible career in music. Natalie Vant is a senior and a piano player in the jazz band. She hopes to one day make a living playing the piano.
Yes, I plan to do music as a career. It's a big part of my life, and I've been influenced greatly these past couple years, and I want to make a living at it, get paid for it, and have some fun.
So jazz lives on at SKHS. For most, it's just music, but for students at SK, it's a future.
Geez, all that jazz make you feel like dancing. Watch for upcoming jazz events next fall.
A highlight each spring here at SK is the annual plant sale. Nick Granfeld found out it takes a lot of hard work to make it happen.
Every year, flowers bloom. Nobody knows this better than South Kitsap's horticulture class. They put on their annual Mother's Day plant sale. Headed by Miss Watson, students start as early as winter in the greenhouse in preparation.
You know, kids would just do different cuttings in class, and they'd do a houseplant sale, and then they built this greenhouse, and it was just kind of like we went from there, and it gets larger every year. Wow. We use Mother's Day because we have the sale the week prior to Mother's Day, and try and make that the niche to pull in the high school students, to have them come in and purchase plants for their mothers, or, you know, whatever reason. The hardest part for me to put this together is in preparation is ordering everything. Getting everything here at a certain time. And I have a really hard time this year trying to get everything here when it needed to be. But the fun part is working with the kids and getting everybody working and doing things down here. And by the time we get to third trimester in the class, they're ready to be out and about working and doing things in the class, in the greenhouse. Yeah, we have a good time usually. I mean, you go through spurts where, I have to go down there again, but it's for the most part, everybody works real well and we have fun.
This proves to be a good hands-on experience for kids. They are responsible for their plants from seed to sale.
I like replanting plants, and when you actually sit down and think about what you're doing, you're helping plants grow. I mean, you're creating beauty for the world, I think. Picking dead leaves off plants, and I've used my knowledge that I've learned in this past year.
Fertilizing plants.
My favorite part about the whole plant sale is seeing the flowers come in bloom and the pretty colors and everything, and walking in the greenhouse and seeing all the colors, and I think that's pretty cool. Because I really don't like the dirt part, but everything else is pretty much fine, but the dirt's like a big part of it. Yeah, I do like the pretty part. I love the flowers and seeing all the colors and everything. So that's my favorite part of this class.
So if you're stuck on what to get your mother for next Mother's Day, come to the greenhouse, because
always a sunny day in the greenhouse, so it's always nice that way.
So remember, next spring around Mother's Day, check out the plant sale at SK. Now here's Alicia Beeler with a special guest.
Hello, joining me is the South Kitsap School District Superintendent, Mr. Bill Lamont. Thanks for coming by.
Thank you for having me here, Alicia. This is a great program. I'm really excited about the video production program here at the high school. I see it as a real nice way of letting people see inside of our school district and learn about what's going on. I'm excited to have this class here.
During our show, we've been focusing a lot on extracurricular activities, but people are wondering what the school is doing in preparing students for the future.
Sure. I think extracurricular activities are a real important part of providing well-rounded opportunities for kids. It teaches teamwork and leadership, responsibility, discipline, those kinds of things. But in addition to that, we're concentrating very diligently about making sure that our kids are prepared academically. We really focus on basic skills and making sure that kids have a strong foundation. And then they're able to go into a variety of programs here at South Kitsap High School that really are job-related kinds of activities that prepare kids for jobs in the future. And we have some students that are going out of our high school, going in and starting at real significant salaries in some of the more technical areas. We're real excited about preparing kids for the future, both academically and in leadership roles.
I'm graduating this year, but I understand that in the future, seniors will have some new requirements to meet.
Yes, part of the new standards and what we're working on in this district to make sure that our kids are prepared for the future is this state education reform. By the year 2006, students will have to have passed what we're calling a certificate of mastery. Actually, it's a state requirement. In addition to our normal graduation requirements, students will have to take a test. They'll begin taking that test in their sophomore year, and they'll have, if they're successful at that point in time, they've met one of their graduation requirements. If they're not, then we'll be providing programs over the next 2 years so that they can achieve that certificate of mastery. That process is starting in the 4th grade this year. It will be starting again with testing in the 7th grade next year, and we've done a pilot at the 10th grade level this year, and 2 years out we will start giving that test, but it won't be a mandatory requirement for graduation until the year 2006.
Well, thanks for coming by, Mr. Billman.
You're welcome, and I'm glad to be here, and it's a great show. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Alicia. Now, still to come, we'll meet some of the stars of the SK track team. We'll show you pep assembly highlights from this school year, and a senior looks in the rearview mirror as high school becomes a memory. Now here's Valerie.
A popular organization here at South is Prophets of Unity. Since I'm the president, I wanted to share a little about it with you.
The annual Black History Month Assembly is just one of the many activities put on by South Kitsap High School's Prophets of Unity.
Let us march on till victory is won.
The mission of Prophets of Unity is to make a positive impact on students of the South Kitsap School District and in the entire community, and to shine a light on racial diversity.
People think it's only black people or only Asian people, and they have their stereotypes, but what we need is everybody, black people, white people, Filipinos, everybody who's around the school. We need a representative from each culture.
Natural segregation is a big problem, so I think it could bring us together if a lot of us participated in the activities that Prophets of Unity can provide.
Break down the boundaries that we have with each other. And it's not so much as to influence and make them feel the way we feel, but get them more open-minded.
While I was in, I think it was either 4th or 3rd grade, I used to go out on the playground and just play around with my friends, and sometimes there'd be a group of white girls and they would just be like, run away from the black girl. They'd be like, ooh, yuck, look at her, she's run away from the black girl, yuck, yuck. And when I was a kid, I just thought, well, I just laughed and I just went somewhere else and played with some of my other friends. I had no idea that it was as deep as it really is. And I didn't understand what that is. And now this is Prophets of Unity has helped me to understand more.
Kitsap County, like most of the country, has become a melting pot of ethnic groups. And so our mission is to raise awareness and let people know that despite our differences, we are all the same.
I had a teacher tell me when I was a sophomore that with the way I dress and the music I listen to, that it's pretty much impossible for me to gain the respect of adults. And but I've talked to that teacher and he's changed his views, especially since he got an A in his class.
So how do you think Prophets helped you personally?
It gave me an understanding. Usually I go buck wild and end up hitting somebody, but I kind of held my tongue most of the time, and due to the fact that I was in a classroom with a lot of other people talking about this stuff. I'm in a classroom with people every day, but we're not talking about racial issues. We're talking about classwork. And Prophets of Unity is about talking about racial issues and solving them.
So when you feel like hope is gone, look inside you and be strong, and you finally see
Through many activities such as the Black History Month Assembly, we try to educate others, raise their awareness of the beauty and value of other people, other cultures, and other ways of life.
My name is David Strickland, and I'm Black Filipino.
My name is Alita Hall. I was born in North Carolina, and I'm Filipino, Romanian, and white.
My name is Valerie, and I'm Russian.
My name is Eddie Walker, and I'm African American.
My name is Keisha DeBose, and I'm black and white.
My name is Mikey Harrell. I'm Italian and Norwegian.
My name is Kristen Boyd. My ethnic background is black or African American.
My name is Joshua Shepard, and my ethnic background is African American.
I'm Leilani Raz, and I'm Portuguese, Hawaiian, Mexican, Romanian, Filipino, and Chinese.
Prophets of Unity has members from all over the world brought together to try to make a positive difference in our school.
People, what they do is they stereotype against other people because they're different and they're afraid of what is different. And what I like to do is to show that people aren't just because they're different doesn't mean that they're wrong or they're mean or they're any kind of stereotypes that you have against a person. You need to don't judge a book by its cover. Get to know someone before you judge them by what you've heard from other people.
Besides the assembly, our group adopts needy families during the holidays, and we recognize special staff members that do a good job and rarely get noticed. We help, we inspire, we educate.
If you'll be attending South next year, please consider becoming a member of Prophets of Unity. Now let's join Josh on the SK track.
That's right. It's time for a little sports action. Mike Smith has a story on the SK track team.
Once again, the school has some excellent athletes participating in the Narrows League competitions. Let's meet some of the athletes. Jeanette Zimmer is a long-distance runner, one of the best in the state.
Actually, my brother, he's like 3 years older than me, and he ran, and so it was kind of just like it was kind of just I expected to do it, so I didn't really.
And how does Jeanette balance being an outstanding student and a great runner?
Yeah, I guess sometimes I get really tired though, I fall asleep, but usually I can keep up with my schoolwork, so.
Robbie Minetti is a state record holder for the javelin. You may also know him as a quarterback of the school football team.
I turned out for track to get faster for football. So my junior year, I ended up running the 100 and that kind of stuff. And then towards the end of the season, I picked up the javelin all through the year. Coach Sigurdsson's the javelin coach, and he came to me and said, hey, come over and throw the javelin. So I did, and by the end of the season, I stopped running the 100 and kept throwing the javelin. So.
Kristen Boyd is a multi-talented athlete. She competes as a sprinter and also high jumps.
Track, I got interested with my brothers, because I have 3 older brothers, and so I basically followed along by what they did. They did basketball, and I do basketball, and they did track, and so me and my sister do track.
Zach Salzberg is a long-distance runner. He is just a sophomore, but is already turning back the competition.
My dad, he ran a lot of road runs. There's pictures of him on our photo albums and stuff, and so he influenced me a lot. And then both my sisters ran cross country, and my one sister Nikki, she goes to Eastern Washington University, and she pole vaults, but she started out in cross country, so that's probably where it came from, where I wanted to run.
To be a success in any field is never easy, but competing in track and field, these 4 athletes and their teammates have learned the road to success takes determination and a lot of work.
It was an awesome season, and congrats to all the spring sports participants.
Now, most people wouldn't think of breakdancers as athletes, but believe me, they are. I know, I'm one of them. We all know South is known for sports. It's part of our school's history. But what about the other activities at South that are rarely recognized? One in mind are the breakdancers of South Kitsap High School. The breakdancers of South originated 4 years ago with the original group Intrepids. Intrepids are all now graduated, but they still come around to breakdance with the newly formed group Elements of Style.
I've been breaking about a year now. That's not that long, I guess, compared to everybody else.
Okay, what got you into breaking?
What got me into breaking? Mostly my friends. I hung out with most of the breakers, so I don't know, I just started staying after and watching them, and then just started doing it.
Along with breakdancing comes bumps, bruises, and sprains, and that's why Elements of Style practices.
We practice about every day, a couple hours every day, you know. And if we can't practice at school, we practice at friends' houses or wherever, pretty much.
Elements of Style has done numerous performances around the community, and each one has their favorite one.
I'd have to say the Cedar performance, because those kids never saw it before and they're amazed of us spinning on our head and stuff.
Favorite performance was the first one, the very first one we ever did, because I was real nervous, and so got my adrenaline pumping and everything, so it was fun.
Well, that's the scoop on the breakdancers of South, the alternative to sports. So if you ever see these guys doing their thing, don't mind to stop and clap and watch, because they love a crowd. Believe me, it's harder than it looks.
It looks pretty hard, Pat. Why don't you bust a move for us right now?
Maybe after the show, man.
You better not forget.
I won't.
Now, Andy Gotzi pulled together some of the highlights of this school year.
I'm a freak of nature. Yeah, I'm a freak. If only it could be as cool as you. As cool as you. Body and soul, I'm a freak. I'm a freak, body and soul, I'm a freak. You say, you're unbelievable.
Getting a little crazy. Look at here. Look at shorty got back. Should I ask her for a dance? Hold on, there's too many in the wolf pack. And besides,
a lot of my friends, they go for the big supermodel type. You know, girls like Cindy Crawford. Not me. I want a girl who's really adequate. That's why I subscribe to She's Okay, I Guess magazine. The cover girl, Miss December, she was a little chunky and her face hadn't quite cleared up yet, but she had a really nice personality.
let's get ready to rumble!
Wow, I guess that pretty much sums up our school year at South.
Well, not really. Here are a few things that senior Alicia Beeler is going to miss when she leaves South.
I've spent 3 long years here at South, and it's about to come to an end. I'm going to tell you some of the things I'll miss about South Kitsap. I'll miss my friends, the laughter we shared, and the memories we made. I'll miss how when I'm walking through the hallway, it always seems like the person in front of me has to stop and talk to someone. I'll miss my teachers, the classrooms. I'll even miss the lady in the hall with the walkie-talkie who's always telling us we have 2 minutes to get to class. I'll miss my counselors. I'll miss how I wait in line for 20 minutes to get my lunch and then only have 10 minutes to eat. I'll miss how when I get the urge for some Skittles, it always seems like the student store's closed. I'll miss Perspectives on Death class. It was such a cheerful class. I'll miss the CWP books from 1979. I'll miss Miss Schufert's poetry interpretations. I'll miss that no matter how good you do, you never get Student of the Month. I'll miss the drill team performances and the men's basketball team. I'll miss the Saturday nights at home, studying. I'll miss getting to act like a geek in drama class. I'll miss the librarians who always seem so helpful when we need it. I'll miss the wash class they give us in PE to use as towels. I'll miss how when I have to go to the bathroom, it always seems like the teacher's in an hour-long discussion. And when I finally get there, there's no soap, and the water pressure's always messed up. I'll miss the assemblies. I'll miss Mr. Wilson. I'll miss John McHenry showing us his moves in the class competitions. I'll miss the sexy ROTC guys in their uniforms. I'll miss the football players' cool handshakes. I'll miss Vin Baker. All in all, I've had a great 3 years at South. But I have to admit, I sure am glad school's out for the summer.
She's right. There are a lot of things to miss around here.
Yeah, sort of like you seniors.
We're done.
It's been fun.
I'll see you guys next fall, but I won't see you two. It's been great, guys.
At least we're out of school.
Hey, come on now. If you're out of here, it's my show.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Wolf Tracks, a program about and produced by South Kitsap High School students. And I messed up.
Matt Gerke takes us to an
For young and old alike, jazz cuts across all age barriers. That was right, huh?
So remember, next spring, around... Okay, that was a long pause.
All right.
That's right. That's right.
Point at the kid.
I don't think so, Valerie.
Wow.
All you talk is trash, and I don't want to listen to it no more.
Wow, I guess that pretty much summed up the school year at South.
It's harder than it looks.
It looks pretty hard.
Since I'm the president, I wanted to share a little about it with you. You better not forget.
I won't see you two, so have a nice fall, guys. Or see you later.